everyone, welcome to the second video in this little series from the Colouring Heaven Presents Autumn edition, and we have a cute little Halloweeny owl. Now if you don't have the book, you can grab it. I do have the a link in the description. It's also, I think, available in shops. I'm not sure across all the world or whether just in the UK, but anyway, you can grab it. But otherwise, maybe you've got other little Halloween picture you want to colour along with me, or anything really. Be nice if you coloured with me. So I'm going to start with the little branch here. We're using the Polychromos pencils again, like yesterday. I'm going to use a light colour first and then put in a little bit of shading. So this is my raw umber. Okay, I'm just going to go across the branch nice and easily, simply. So these pictures are on a page called Little Halloween Scenes, page 38, by Alexandra Dannenmann. Now, I'm not really familiar with Alexandra Dannenmann very much, but I do really like her art style. It's really cute and simple, but not overly simplistic, but just, you know, it's just works for me really, I guess I'm trying to say. So that's nice. I have got a drink in here today, so I may be stopping for a little slurp every so often. I just actually just made this video and I was feeling a bit tired, and I thought, what am I going to do? I thought, oh, I'll go and get a drink, and it's too hot though, and I'll have a bit of chocolate. So I had a couple of squares of chocolate, really teeny squares. My current bar is really teeny squares of chocolate. I had two, and grabbed my drink, which is a barley cup. I don't know if you know what barley cup is. It's like a coffee alternative made from chicory, rye and something else. I can't remember now. Right, that's my quick rough bit, and now I'm going to go in with a darker colour. I'm just going to grab the burnt umber to do some shadowy bits. I need to sharpen it. So burnt umber, my first place to go is at the bottom here. So I'm going to work some burnt umber along the bottom and then fade it towards the centre. I'm not going to go too far up. And then on this bit as well. Yeah, the barley cup is like a coffee alternative, and it's completely caffeine free. Now, I didn't realise this, but decaf drinks, which is what I normally have, do still have a fair amount of caffeine in, even though they're decaf. And my dad had actually been advised by one of his a consultant helping him with some health issue, that he might be better off having no caffeine. And so he looked into getting some of this. And I used to drink this a long time ago. When I was a teenager, I think, I stopped drinking coffee because couldn't really get a good decaf back in the day. Decaf coffee was fairly good eventually, but it used to be sort of decaffeinated with chemicals, and people were sort of put off by that. And there was one, a Taylor's of Harrogate coffee, which used to be decaffeinated using the water method. We used to drink that, but it was filter coffee. It was very expensive, so we only had that on occasion. So we used to buy this barley cup, or another drink as well called Caro, which is still sell in Germany apparently, but you can't get it in the UK anymore. And so we would drink that instead of having coffee. I'm going back to my raw umber just to tidy up a little bit now. So I thought I would try it because my dad had bought some, was trying it, and I thought, I'm going to try it and see what it was like. And actually I might benefit from having no caffeine as well, because the reason he's supposed to be giving up caffeine is because it can make you need the loo. It's a diuretic, and he was advised not to have it. So I actually thought, you know what, I think I'm going a bit more often than I used to, and maybe I could do with a bit of help. So I thought I would. I don't know whether I've noticed a big difference, to be honest, but I also don't like the fact that caffeine can make you feel tense, I suppose. And so we're going to colour the pumpkin. But we're going to start with the orange glaze. Oh, chink. I shall hit my pencil on the tripod. Bing, bing. I'm going to start with the orange glaze, which I didn't use for the pumpkin yesterday. I thought we'd do it a little bit differently. Why not? Use a few different colours. So I'm going to colour all the orange bit in first. I'm going to use this orange to colour all of it in first. We'll get the words out properly soon. Well, never know. So yes, the fact that caffeine can make you feel jittery and tense. And I thought, you know, I'm trying to be more calm. You know, I didn't think that I was a stressy person. This is terracotta because I don't sort of lose my temper very often and that sort of thing. But what I began to realise, is that that isn't where my stress manifests. It's not how it shows in my body. And actually, I'm just trying to put a bit of this terracotta to the side of these really dark lines to try and give our pumpkin a bit of shape. And I'm going to go back to my orange glaze and just go over those bits and sort of blend it in a bit. But I realised that it comes out in other ways. So I just feel tense, not very relaxed. I've been finding it difficult to actually relax. And I thought it was probably menopause. You know, that can be a symptom. So I sort of blame that. And I went on HRT and I did feel a bit better. So I thought, oh, it must be just that. But I'm not as good as I was before I had kids. I was really laid back. And also after, I remember people in the playground going, you're so laid back. Am I? You know, so chill. So I'm like, I want to be that person again, made green, like my son who just goes, you know, oh well, we've got through it before, we'll get through it again. That sort of attitude. I'm trying to make that centre bit a bit darker. There we go. So there's our pumpkin. Now owl. I'd quite like to do owl in a brown. Now obviously we've done the branch in brown, but I don't think that needs to stop us from doing the owl in brown. We'll just use different shades of brown. Now we can quickly, I don't know why quickly, we can go for the burnt sienna, which is more of a reddy brown. And I think I'm going to use that for owl's wings to start with. Now you could try and draw on fur. I don't think fur. Feathers. You could try and draw little lines to indicate feathers like this. I can do it a little bit, but I'm not going to do it too much. Like that. So I then started doing the mindfulness. And my goodness, I was like, this is what I've been needing to do. I've been needing to do meditation again. And it made such a difference to me. I know it doesn't work for everybody. I'm not saying off you go and you'll be brilliant. It doesn't work for everyone. But for me, that is what was missing. That is what I'd stopped doing. And now I can get myself in a much more chill. So I can go and sit in my bed. I tend to be in bed when I do this. Sit in my bed, put a 5-minute meditation on, and I can just feel my whole body relaxing, all the tension going out of my muscles. Now I know that relaxation isn't just about muscular relaxation, it's also about the mind. But for me, I find that if my body is relaxed, then my mind feels relaxed too. I'm trying to decide, while I'm waffling on, whether to make the head this colour or this colour. I think I'm going to do the head this colour too. So yes, that's what was missing. And now what's really the big changes I've noticed are when my husband has a panic attack or shouts with anger because he's frustrated at something, I used to feel myself going into a fight or flight response. I could feel my heart racing, where it caused me tension and stress, which isn't a useful response to someone who's having that. And I would just get cross, and I would sometimes go, oh, for goodness sake, or just breathe or something, which is not very useful. But now, having done the meditation, when that happens, I am calm and I can go and give him a hug and be much more supportive, or say, have you tried just breathing deep into your belly, you know, in a calm voice. And it's made so much difference. And so I feel calmer, and I think that's you know, rubbing off on the family. I've noticed husband's IBS is improving. Now, there are a few reasons why that may have happened. He's adjusted, ears. Here we go, ears. What I'm going to do is do that bit. So I'm still using this sunburnt sienna. I'm going to do just that bit in burnt sienna. And then it will look like a bit more 3D, and then that bit the colour of the belly. Now the eyes, I'm trying to think, is this eyeball black and this like the iris? We're going to do them that big, or we're going to make this just look like a furry bit. I'm not really sure how it's going to look. Right, we need to do the, is that the bistre? Yeah, I'm going to use the bistre for the tummy, for Owl's tummy. It's a bit lighter, that's what I wanted. I think a sort of lighter tummy looks nice, like a little teddy bear. Oh, anyway, so it's been very good. So I was doing the mindfulness course by, it's Mark Williams and someone Denman, I think. They're British. I also read the book by Kabat-Zinn, I think, who's American, but I found the British one better because it was shorter, which made it easier to digest, if you know what I mean, and the meditations that went with it were shorter, so you didn't have to do more than sort of half an hour a day, which was easier, whereas the Kabat-Zinn ones, I think they're 45 minutes a day, which is quite a big commitment. Once you can start to feel some benefit from it, then I think you might make the time for it. But while I was just doing it as an experiment to see whether it was any good, really, I didn't expect it to have this sort of result, then I didn't really feel like I wanted to commit the time. Now, do I do that in this colour? Yeah, I'm committing, making a decision, being brave. Oh. So yeah, so I found it very good, and I know that there are all sorts of different relaxation techniques and things that people can apply to their life to make a big difference. And I've always found that caffeine has been a biggie for me, that avoiding caffeine was huge in changing how I felt. Also was all part of a whole diet overhaul that I did. I am going to use the dark cadmium yellow for the eyes. I'm going to use them quite lightly because it's not my only eye colour. That bit's going to be black. I don't think this is how it's supposed to be coloured in, but it's how I'm colouring it in. We're going to do the beak with this one. I'm going to go a bit darker on the beak because I'm not going to be adding quite so many other colours. And the feet. They probably shouldn't be this colour, but I think it looks cute. Now I am going to grab this colour, which is the dark chrome yellow, and put a little bit more in the eyes on the right and left. Like that. We can put a bit on the beak as well, and on the feet if you want to. There we go. The little dot, I'm going to do black. There it is. Black. Yeah, so I did this sort of whole diet overhaul and noticed a really big difference. I'm going to do the hat in green, emerald green. And what did I do? Well, I cut out sugar, cut out anything white, white flour, white pasta, white rice, replaced that white with whole grains, took out caffeine, any stimulants. I gave up chocolate. I eat it now. Has got stimulants in, has got caffeine in, but it's the I only have chocolate in the morning, and I only have a little bit, and the theobromine can be calming, so it sort of depends how your body reacts to it, really. My husband makes him really, really angry, but for me it absolutely doesn't do that. So it depends how you react to the theobromine. Never heard of anyone else having it and being really angry. It was I don't know how I even noticed and discovered it, but I don't know, it's just so strange. Anyway, yes, so then sort of went from whites to whole grains. So, you know, white bread to brown bread, whole grain bread, wholemeal bread. I think we used to have Hovis or something like that, was one of the only sort of wholemeal breads you could get at the time. You can get a lot more now, although what I've noticed is that in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, supermarkets have actually reduced the amount of wholemeal food availability, which upsets me rather than increasing it. But I buy wholemeal noodles, wholemeal pasta, spaghetti, I buy wholemeal bread. You know, I don't often use things like potatoes. I use sweet potatoes instead, you know, that sort of thing. Having more protein, my body doesn't suit too much protein, but having extra protein where I can. I've been having a bit of extra fish at the moment. Yeah, I don't always have lots, but that's fine. I am going to do this ribbon and this bow tie in the same colour, and I'm pondering whether to do the little dots on the hat in the same colour as well. But why would they be the same colour? They wouldn't, would they? So let's do the dots in a really deep green. Let's use this deep cobalt green for the dots, make them really dark, and then we'll do the ribbon and the hat band in the same colour. And when I changed my diet, I became less nervous, less shy, less sort of jittery, and sort of, I'm just going to use a bit of this for this shadow in here, more confident. It was just amazing. I'm just going to have some of my drink. Really amazing. The difference was like night and day. And notice the same change. I'm going to use the blue violet for the hat band and the ribbon. It, you know, and so I stuck with that. This was when I was about 18. And what was interesting was, I'll tell you a little story. When I was at school, I was really shy. I had a few friends. By the time I left, there was about a group of 4, 5 of us, one of which was my sister, you know, that used to hang out. That was it, really. We occasionally chatted to some of the year below us. Anyway, so I had a few friends. And then I went to uni. So I'm just making those bits really dark. I'm going to do this bit lighter. And I decided that I was just going to not worry about making friends. I was just going to go there, have fun, enjoy the course, enjoy studying, and just enjoy being in a place where nobody knew who I was. You know, I was living at home still, so I wasn't mega confident. But then I met one of my friends from school, had gone to Imperial University College. Sorry, having a drink. and found it extremely stressful and left, and came back home, and we met up and she decided to go to the uni I was at. That's not the colour I want. Because so she could be at home with her parents. This is deep scarlet red. We're going to do a stripy candy cane. And so we met up for a coffee in the canteen at the uni, because she was having a meeting there to talk about joining or something. I can't quite remember. Anyway, we chatted and she said to me, "You are so confident. Your confidence has gone through the roof. You could just take the lectures. You're that confident." This is dark phthalo green. And I think it was partly to do with having to go somewhere new, being separated from my twin sister for the first time. Although we occasionally walked in together. I'm going to do this the same colour as this. I don't know why, I just fancy doing it. So I'm going to do all these little ones in this green. And just being determined that I would just smile and just chat to people and not be scared. And also, so back to our deep scarlet red for these other sections. And I had to do presentations, and after the first one I was so confident. I really enjoyed it. I was really nervous, but I just started talking to the class and I absolutely loved it. I mean, who does that? Who likes doing presentations? It was just strange. This is the Naples yellow. It just gave me a buzz, you know. I really enjoyed it. And so yes, she said my confidence, and I think it was partly to do with my attitude and the change of circumstances, but also to do with changing my diet. It was massive. My poor mum, it cost her, both my dad was earning, but my mum used to do the shopping, and it cost her so much extra money. Like, she would make wholemeal pastry for us. She couldn't buy it. I'm just gonna have some more drink, and it would cost her a lot of money. But she would make pies or crumble, you know, that sort of thing. And she would say, "It's so expensive," and I had to go around 3 different health food shops to try and find it and all this sort of thing. Now the moon, I rather like a slightly blue moon. Oh, that reminds me, apparently it's going to be a super moon soon. I'm probably telling you it's probably already gone, you know, recording in advance as I do. But I need to remember to find out when that is, because I find them amazing. And you just look outside and the moon is like 4 times bigger than it should be. Like, whoa, where's that come from? So we'll have to have a look at that. It's getting dark earlier though, so I might have the curtains shut. Now, I've just noticed down here we've got a little cobweb. Can you see on the branch? I think it's ever so cute. I'm going to just colour that over with silver. I am going to use, this is, oh, here it is. This is the jelly roll, Sakura jelly roll silver, but you can use any silver pen. There are plenty of them about, and I always think they're much of a muchness. With most metallic pens, I wouldn't say that. There are differences. But the silvers are usually all really good. Oh, trying to go over the lines, not around them. There we go. There's our silver cobweb. Now, I don't know how easy it is to see if you put it up. Now you could also, I'm going to go around the moon silver, I think too. I'm going to get carried away with my silver pen. Why not? Coming up to that sort of holiday season where we need to be using all our sparkles and our metallics and we just want sparkle and shine on everything. Is that right? There we go. I am actually so tempted to go around the edges of those stars in gold, but I didn't on the last one. But why not? Why does it have to be the same? It doesn't. Just trying to find the gold pen. Sorry, It's my metal shelving unit with my pens on. It's gold. I'm just going to go around the edges. You don't have to. You might want to put some sparkle on them instead. But I'm just going over the black, really. It's quite a thick black on these pictures. Some people prefer a lighter black so they can cover it over. I am going to have a go at, I saw this amazing picture on Instagram. Is it, I can't, oh, I'm trying to think of the name of the person. I'm so rubbish at remembering these things. KD someone, maybe it was. And it was beautiful. All the black lines had been erased, or however, whatever you do. And it was just the most lovely. And I looked at that picture and I thought, if I did that picture, it would probably take me like a week. Now normally I can do 2 or 3 pictures in a day if I'm on a bit of a roll. To do a picture in a whole week, that's some patience. I don't know if I would be able to have the patience to do that. You know, it was tiny light layers just built up really slowly. I just think I would get bored. One day I want to try, you know, have this sort of ongoing whip that I do a few hours a day on, you know, to try and make it perfect. But I think I would end up just rushing it, getting bored or something. It's just not really me. There we go. I think they look actually quite nice compared to yesterday's, but you know, it's up to you. I'm just checking I've done it all because I've got a feeling I haven't, but I have, so that's fine. So there is our little owl all done. So cute, so cute. We've got a spooky house tomorrow. Not sure how to go about that one to make it look not as spooky as perhaps it might. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching today. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.